The Pentagon's abortion travel policy remains in effect after Alabama Senator Tommy Tuberville released his holds on more than 400 military promotions. However, Republicans say that does not mean the fight is over. Capitol Hill correspondent Erik Rosales has been following this story for the last 10 months and joins us with the latest. Erik?
Good evening, Catherine. Yes, Senator Tommy Tuberville told Republican colleagues this week that he was releasing his holds. Otherwise, the Democrat-led Senate would have voted to change the rules and allow the nominees to be approved. I talked at length with Senator Tuberville, who tells me that he's disappointed with the outcome.
You can be pro-life and you can be for the military. You don't need to take sides on this. And for some reason, we had some Republicans that did that. The Democrats could care less about the unborn, and they could care less about our military. Chuck Schumer could have solved this problem in a matter of days when we first put this hold on these promotions. I never talked to him. I talked a couple of minutes to the Pentagon, and I never talked to the President of the United States.
Senator Tuberville also tells me opposition became personal, even from fellow Republican senators.
And I want a strong military, but the problem is they're destroying our military. They're not doing what's right. I even had Republican senators come after me that got very personal. Very upsetting to me that they got personal on the Senate floor about how I was handling something when it is my right. I was representing and still am representing the people of Alabama and the citizens of this country.
Republican Senators Joni Ernst and Dan Sullivan helped forge an agreement with Senator Tuberville, requiring votes for only senior-level nominations. They tell me the target now is the third in charge at the Pentagon.
This nominee, Erik Rosales, would be the number 3 guy out at Department of Defense, and he actually is the one that would oversee policy.
And I'm going to hold this guy until I take him out if I have to, if we don't get a change in the policy. So to me, this was the hold opportunity that always made the most sense. Again, why were we punishing great American heroes, many of whom are pro-life, trust me, I know a lot of them, who have nothing to do with the dispute.
Senator Ernst tells me she tried to include an amendment to the defense bill overturning the abortion travel policy, but it didn't pass.
We are very, very pro-life, but we are also pro-national defense. And what we don't want to see is the sacrifice of one for another. We should support both.
So what is next? Senator Tuberville tells me that he's going to continue to fight for the unborn. Meanwhile, Senator Sullivan, well, he says he's confident that he has the votes to actually stop the nomination of the Pentagon civilian, the third in charge. He tells me that even some Democrats want him out. So holding out hope for the pro-life community. Catherine?
Erik, I want to switch gears. Congressman Jamal Bowman was censured today. What exactly does that mean?
Well, censuring is basically a formal slap on the wrist. There is no other punishment included. It's more of a public embarrassment. You know, the New York congressman was censored by a vote of 214 to 191, largely along party lines. You may recall Congressman Bowman pulled a fire alarm during a House vote back in September. He pleaded guilty to the misdemeanor charge back in October and agreed to pay a $1,000 fine. Bowman is the third Democrat so far to be censored since the Republicans took control of the House.